That's right. We're two escrow officers that have done this for a real long damn time.
Check, check. Mic check.
Is this thing recording?
Hello, and welcome to ESCROWtainment.
It's different.
We're doing it. This is a recording studio.
With microphones and all.
Yeah. I bet we sound better.
Quit looking at yourself.
Okay, here we go.
Or me. Quit looking at myself.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to ESCROWtainment. This is our podcast that we put out weekly to help you dive deeper into your real estate transactions. We're your hosts. I'm Brittany Siciliano.
I'm Tammy Stone.
And this week, we've got a good topic for you.
I like this one.
Yeah. So I think something you'll all be interested in.
Yeah.
How do we close faster?
Close on time.
You know what, though?
Faster.
Just because the contract says March 15th, if you're ready, March 1st, why not close?
Right. We're shaking the table.
Oh, we are?
Yeah. Okay. Number one item that helps a transaction close faster. I would say providing your documents.
Yeah, the delivery items, right?
Yes.
Are you thinking that? Like
yes.
Survey,
seller contact,
buyer contact,
T47 affidavit. Do we want to talk about a T47 affidavit?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
I think the one thing I would say is the date on the T47 is the date of the survey, not the date the seller acquired the property, not the date they closed.
Not the date they signed the survey.
Right.
Which date on the survey? The surveyor's date.
Yes, when the survey was performed.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been 10 years before they owned the property, but what they're saying in that T47 affidavit is there have been no changes to the property other than, and they're the current owners.
Yeah.
So they should be able to say what's different.
Yes.
Pool's been added.
Yeah.
New fence was done. Mm-hmm. Carport, all the things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you supply a seller's existing survey with the survey affidavit, then our title people can review that right at the time they're examining the property, which speeds things up by how many days do you think?
Yeah, at least 4.
2, 3, 4.
Yeah. I mean, at least, because a lot of times they finish the title work and then we go back and send them the survey because now it's come in and they have to kind of pull that file back up.
Yeah.
So for sure.
Yep. Home warranty, if you elected to either provide a home warranty or you elected for your buyer to get one, we need to know which home warranty company is that. What did the buyer choose? Which options do they want covered under that warranty?
Yeah.
Do the options exceed what the seller is willing to pay? Is somebody else paying for the home warranty? All those details. A quick message to us can help us get that.
I've had a couple of deals lately where the lender, like the loan program's actually paying for a home warranty.
What?
Have you seen that?
I have not seen that.
And someone talked about it somewhere. So again, if there's a home warranty, send that info in, because if the seller's not paying for it, we really don't know about it.
We really don't know.
No.
What else? Oh, if your owner, the seller, has a title policy from when they acquired the property.
I don't know many agents that probably know or even think to ask for that, but what a good idea. Like, how you're asking them to give you their survey and maybe you're looking at their note to see what their loan terms were when they bought it. If you're kind of digging through that pile of documents, see if you see that owner's policy, because that will help clear up some items that might come up, a prior lien or something like that.
Totally.
On the commitment.
Totally. And it acts as a start for us to be able to get a jump start on the title search, which, I feel like at McKnight Title, we have pretty quick turn times on our title work, but if we have that title policy, do you know how much quicker we could get?
Yeah, they almost just go from that policy forward, since since the sellers owned it versus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes things happen. Sometimes things don't get cleared up from the last closing.
Right.
If we know who issued it, chances are we know people
that
issued it, then we can get things handled quickly without any big to-do with you or your client.
Yeah, for sure.
So an existing title policy will speed things up.
Right.
Quite a bit. Pre-approval.
Yeah. I think that, even though we're not lenders, I think that one's kind of big in the sense is if you've already gone through that pre-approval, now your lender's just waiting for you to pick the property.
Yes.
And I think that makes a big difference on the closing process. I think that when I get some contracts in, I'm like, they're closing in 28 days. And this is with a loan, but they've probably already done a lot of their lending side of it.
Yeah.
you know.
Chances are, if you're a practicing agent, specifically in the Texas area, within the last few years, with the price bidding wars and things like that we've had in our market, you're probably pretty versed in making sure your buyer has a pre-approval letter, making sure they've connected. But if you do not have a good lender referral partner, someone that you can direct people to make sure that gets done, you need that.
Right.
You need that. You need referrals. Please let us know. We've got some great people we work with. The pre-approval is huge.
Yeah, I think so too.
Mm-hmm. And can also help you on your pricing, right? What your client can afford.
Right.
I think lenders help, know all those tricks.
Right.
Yep.
CDAs.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's an important part that we need, right?
We are talking about your commission, how to pay your commission, how your commission gets dispersed between you and your broker, how to actually get your money to you. I am continually shocked at how challenging it can be to get that information before closing.
Yeah. And
I'd
used
love to know why, honestly.
Yeah. And used to, you would send them to the broker's office, right? Because you're there every day. And in this day and age, that's not the case. You're in your car, you're between appointments. So maybe it's not convenient for that check to be sent to your office. So we've got to know that.
We need to know that. And that just helps us close quicker. We know how to finish the closing statements for you. Lenders need to see that, particularly if you're providing a credit of some kind to your client for something, which we do see a lot of actually. So, gosh, when we close and fund, we can pay you so fast if we have that. And a side note, if you're missing something from your file, receipted contract, I mean, we're aware y'all have paperwork to do with your brokers in order to get your commission statements issued. But if y'all ever need anything, you just let us know. We want to help you get that done.
Or Qualia. A lot of it is in Qualia, in our system that kind of keeps those documents, survey, trying to think what else. I know receipted page, survey, things like that you need. So.
You're right. Let's sidetrack on that for a minute, because I think that's a lot. That's really helpful. So if you close with us, we have a program. It's a portal. You have to log into it. But it tracks every transaction that you close with our entire company, not just with Tammy and I, not just in our office locally, but if you close with McKnight Title anywhere, you will have a portal and you will have access to your transactional documents.
Right.
So receipted contracts, title searches, surveys, anything you may need on your end, you have access.
Right. Those closing statements at tax season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have access to all of that. Just a perk, just another perk for closing with us. Do we want to talk about opening title?
Oh yeah.
If on a listing situation, and like what's important with that and how that relates to being able to close faster.
Right. Y'all know what she's talking about when maybe you ask your escrow officer or title company to go ahead and open title on a new listing. Maybe y'all are negotiating. Maybe it's just going on the market, but you want to go ahead and get that title commitment going. Maybe you're looking at a probate. Maybe we're making sure who owns it is. Maybe there's only one lien on the property, but we can do that. We can definitely open them. But just remember that's kind of done as a service. That's right. We've started that with the anticipation of having a closing.
Of a closing and a closing fee to collect and a title fee to collect. We are working those hours. And so, it's important if you have those situations, because those things can delay your closing. And if we're on the topic of closing quicker, how we can help you close quicker, it does help. But please remember to make sure you steer that contract back to us.
Right. Yeah. For sure.
Okay, so for our story today, I thought it would be fun to talk about how quick you've ever closed a transaction. Like, what's your record? Do you remember?
Man, I think it was pretty recent too. I would say 3 days.
Really?
3 days, and I'm almost counting a weekend. Like the contract came in over the weekend, and I think we closed on Wednesday.
Really?
Yeah. Of course, it was cash. That makes sense.
Receipted contract date to close date, 3 days?
3 days. Yeah. Again, I think we might have gotten a little jump start on the commitment because we knew it was a possibility.
Okay, well, that's when it works, right?
Yes. Yeah, for sure. We were trying to meet a tax deadline.
Okay.
Taxes were due January 31st.
Okay.
It even had an HOA.
What? How did you do
Luckily, the HOA was not board managed, so it was just an email address of probably a, secretary that lived in the neighborhood that provided the resale package. I think we had to get a payoff for the seller.
that? Okay.
I mean, it was a traditional transaction, but it was like 3 days. I think they were as surprised as I was.
That's
Because everything had to happen. It wasn't just me. I'm waiting on the plant, and then we're ordering the HOA, and then we're so
no pressure.
no pressure. I was
There you
just
go.
sitting there, with my fingers just waiting.
But that's a good example. If you have everything ready to go and the clients are ready,
Yeah.
there's no reason not to close
Right.
faster.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes title companies get a bad rap for dragging it out to what the contract date says you're closing. And I think in some areas, closers do work
Yeah, off that date.
on
Sure.
that schedule, but we try to be pretty efficient to make sure it happens. And when it's ready, letting everybody know.
Yeah, I can say that I'm probably that way too. You're working towards those closing dates, but every now and then, you get that email and they're like, we're closing week early. And I'm like, oh, what difference does that make for me? So yeah, I think you do have to be top of mind that it could be sooner, could be quicker.
Yeah. Work it to be ready as quick
Yeah.
as possible.
For sure.
So those are just some things that we see on our side on key things that can help a deal close quicker. We wanted to share those with you. What would you say would be a good tip?
We talked about this. I think just kind of going along with what we just said is delivering your items, whatever those items are, prior to the date on the contract. If the survey's due 3 days after the contract is executed, but you already have it, go ahead and send it. Send it to the title company so it's reviewed, so that it's sent to the buyer and they get it too. You don't have to wait for those days. You can send them as soon as they're available.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's good. And for the challenge this week, try us.
Oh,
Try us out. Send us a contract with a quick close date.
let's beat my 3 days.
Let's beat her 3 days.
That might be tough, right? No, three's no. That's
3 days is 3 days is pretty great, but
Yeah.
it sounds like everything was in order,
Right.
And it doesn't have to be the perfect situation for that to work out.
right.
But if everybody's working toward that goal,
It could be 4 and 5 and 6 and 8. It's still a reasonable
Yep.
item to hit.
And like in the world of everything now, like instant gratification, I think clients really like quick closings.
Yes.
They don't want
Yeah.
to drag out. They don't want to see all the emails for 30 days.
Right.
They don't want anything to come up in 30 days. Like they're ready.
Right. Yes.
They're ready. So
Yeah.
try us out. How do you do that?
Email us. Email us at subscribe@mcknighttitle.com.
Nope.
Nope. Podcast at mcknighttitle.com. Subscribe.
Subscribe to our video.
Yes.
Please follow us. Please like this if you felt like any of this information was helpful to you. If you email us, you will be joined to our newsletter and get some more information along the way. You can also get notified as soon as we release a new podcast so you don't miss anything. In the world of algorithms, it's hard to know when your videos are being picked up, but we would love to just add you to the list, share that info to you. And you can also find us on social media. We've got TikTok channel for bloopers, which we're getting pretty good at this. We don't really have much right now.
I didn't laugh one time.
No. Well, we kind of just did. We kind of just flipped. Maybe that one ends up. We also have Facebook, Instagram. We're on all the things, but reach out to either one of us directly. We are in the DFW area. We service many counties. We are in the business of closing transactions. So please let us know how we can help.
Yes.
Are you ready to sign off?
Invest in your...
Did you forget?
Invest in your tomorrow.
There you go. Live in your today.
From your 2 favorite escrow officers, please stay tuned. We have new episodes every week.